Having that first conversation with an expecting mom who wants to meet you and get to know you more, that is such an exciting and nervous time. So I'm going to talk about some of the questions that are probably going to be asked during this time on All About Adoption today. If we haven't met, hi, I'm Stephanie A. I'm the founder and director of Adoption and Beyond. I have 27 years worth of experience that I enjoy bringing to you in these free YouTube videos. So let's dive right in. So these questions are going to be geared more towards if you're doing your own self-networking and your own outreach. If you're working with an agency, you're going to have knowledge of most of these questions. So let's just pretend that you don't know the answers to these questions ahead of time. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is to find out when she is due. Another question is to find out when she started thinking about adoption. Find out if they're already working with an agency or an attorney. Find out how the birth father is also feeling about the adoption plan as well. Find out how her parents are feeling about this adoption plan. Finding out what the support is of the birth father and also her family as well will be really important, because if she doesn't have the support of either one, then it's going to be much more difficult for her to make an adoption plan. So finding out whether she has that support would be important. Find out how she found you or why she chose the agency or the attorney that she's working with. Find out a little bit more about how she found all the people that are involved in her adoption process. Find out what her plans are for the future. Find out if she plans on going to school or continuing schooling, or is, kind of just look that she has future plans past this adoption experience. Find out what she does in her spare time. What does she enjoy doing? So that will be helpful for you to know just a little bit more about who she is. Find out if she knows anybody who has placed before, and so therefore, she has experience in talking with someone who's been through the process. That can really help her in discerning whether adoption is the right thing for her, and to get the support from someone who truly understands what she's going through. So some of the questions that you're going to want to avoid and let the adoption professionals handle this, because it's important that, especially when you're doing your own self-outreach, that you get just kind of the initial information, and then that you immediately get the adoption professionals involved to be able to ask some of the more sensitive questions. So more about drugs and alcohol use during pregnancy, how many potential birth fathers there might be, and those kind of things are better left for the professionals to work with and ask her. So it's important when you go into the adoption process that you don't have any preconceived notions of about the mom. Don't assume that she is poor, and that don't make any kind of assumptions at all. So it's important because, I've had very high-powered, expecting moms who just are very career-oriented, and a child is just not in their plans, so they feel adoption's the right thing. So I've seen, moms who've had multiple children, and therefore she feels she just can't parent another child, but she's fully gainfully employed. So don't make any perceived notions that she's poor or on drugs or the birth father's not involved. So just be careful when you come into adoption that you don't have an idea of who you think the expecting mom is before you even talk with her. And just know that when you're talking with a mom, she is just as nervous as you are. She's like I said, she's just as nervous, and it's important to recognize that. You may feel like, she's holding, your future in your hands, and she has fears that, are you going to be the right family, and are you going to keep your commitments to her? So there's fear on both ends. So just know that both of you are just as excited and just as nervous when you come into this conversation. So I hope you found this information helpful. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks. Bye.